Okay. Please bow your heads. In the spirit of love, compassion, hard work, and dedication, we come together today. Spirits and gods of many names, be in our hearts and minds as we gather here this morning. We are here as people hopeful for our futures. We are all from different traditions, but we gather in unity as the 2019 graduating class of Surrey Community College. May we embrace our differences while we seek common ground in this world. As we venture into our next chapter in life, help us to remember those who guided, encouraged us along the way. Let us be the good we want to see in others, and be the change we hope to see in the world. Thank you and congratulations. You may now be seated.
Good morning. On behalf of the Surry Community College Board of Trustees, administration, faculty, and staff, it is my pleasure to welcome each of you to the Surry Community College 52nd Commencement Ceremony. Today, we add 518 new members to the Surry Community College alumni. Approximately 200 of those students will march in today's ceremonies. At this time, I would like to welcome a very special group of students. Will all graduating active duty military personnel and student veterans please stand? These graduates are wearing a red, white, and blue cord in recognition of their service to our country. Please thank them again for their service. Thank you. Also at this time, I would like to recognize graduates that have achieved honors. Will our honors graduates please stand? A silver cord represents students that have achieved an overall GPA of 3.5 to 3.79. The gold cords represent students that have achieved an overall GPA of 3.8 and higher. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you. Also, as outlined in the graduation program, we have several students that are members of Mu Alpha Theta, Scholars of Global Distinction, the Phi Theta Kappa National Society, Honor Society, and the National Society of Leadership and Success. Will members of these associations please stand? Thank you. Graduates, this year's graduation quote comes from Pelé, a Brazilian soccer player. Pelé stated, "Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing." Graduates, what you have accomplished is no accident or a stroke of luck. You have worked hard, persevered through hard times, and the rain outside. I apologize because I did not tell the truth about how long we would be out there. I hope you'll forgive me. Learned and studied, and undoubtedly you have made a lot of sacrifices during your time here at Surry. Now you must take what life lessons, education, and training you have received at Surry Community College and do what you love. Whether that be continuing your education or finding your dream job, we are very proud of you and want to wish you the very best in your future endeavors. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you our commencement speaker, Dr. David Shockley, President of Surry Community College.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here with you today, and on behalf of our faculty, our staff, our students, and our Board of Trustees, I welcome you to our graduation exercises. What a tremendous accomplishment it is for each and every one of these graduates who are here before, because they've overcome the many, many odds and many, many barriers that have brought them forward to us today so that we can honor them. We also have some very special guests that are with us today, and I would like to recognize them in groups, if you will. First and foremost, I'd like to represent our trustees who serve this community college by appointment from different civic and government leaders throughout the state. They do so and donate their time to this college and their efforts for no pay, for no benefit, other than to give back to our communities and to serve these students and to make this possible for us today. And so I'd like for you to stand, trustees, as I introduce you. And the first is Miss Alice Conley. Miss Debbie Diamond. Ms. Deidre Rogers, and Mr. Jim Lewis. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to recognize our faculty and staff who are here today. And our faculty and staff, if you could please stand and be recognized. And finally, those of you who are in the audience, I'm not going to ask you to stand because it looks like pretty tight quarters. But graduates, I would like for you to stand, find those loved ones, and make eye contact and thank them for helping you be here today. So graduates, please stand and do that if you will, please. Thank you. We are grateful for each and every one of you, and I am so proud of these graduates. These graduates have so much potential and so much of a bright future ahead of them. Many of them will be sheriffs, they will be doctors, they will be fire chiefs, they will be nurses, physical therapist assistants, medical assistants, welders, machinists, mechanics. They will go on to serve in General Assembly as legislators. They will be elected officials. They will go on and serve as magistrates and judges. And they will serve all these honors. And why do I know this? I know this because every one of those categories, Surry Community College has graduates that currently serve in those various capacities. And each and every one of those capacities are very important to our community and to our state. And they're all postgraduates in those professions that I mentioned. So yes, each and every one of you have that ability in you to go out and to make that difference. And I'm very, very proud of you and encourage you to go along and do that. You have the power within you to promote healing, cultural, economic, and spiritual growth in our region. Do not underestimate what the power of one can do. As Michaela stated earlier in the invocation, never forget how powerful you can truly be and the influence for better good that you can have upon those that you serve and those that you come in contact with. It starts with yourself, it continues with your family, your immediate community, and it branches out from your community to your state, to your nation, and to the world. The world is a smaller place today, and your influence can be seen and felt as evidenced through the social medias and things that we have throughout the world that allow you to reach out and touch anyone at any time, 24/7 throughout this world. You have that ability to be either uplifting to that individual or you have the ability to bring them down lower. I hope that you choose the greater good and that you uplift others that you come in contact with, that each and every day through your services and the skills that you've gained at this college, through the knowledge and expansion that you have gained, that you use that for the better good. And I promise you, if you do, you will be uplifted and edified as you uplift and edify others who you come in contact with. Now, last year I did something special for the graduates that came to me. And it comes through a constant bombardment that we have in our society today, that we love our sports teams, we love our sports figures, we love our celebrities, and we love political leaders and those type things, and the world typically embraces them and celebrates them at unprecedented levels. And so I thought, this is more important, what we're celebrating today, the accomplishments of these young men and women that we have here in front of us. It is far more important than what happens a lot of times in that world. Yes, I am a sports fan. Yes, I get rabid when my team is losing, and I love to celebrate when they win. So, I want these graduates to have that experience, to be celebrated like never before, and I want them to be able to feel the energy that comes from the audience that's here today. And so, graduates, if you would, please stand. Now, for every one of you in the audience, I need your help. I want you to picture that it is the ninth inning, 2 outs, and it's a full count on that batter. and your team is either is about to win the World Series, or it's Final Four time, and it's down to a nail biter, and you don't know who's going to win, and your team has the ball with a chance to make that winning basket and for you to celebrate. Or your favorite celebrity is about ready to win CMA Entertainer of the Year or a Grammy or whatever it is that we are so passionate about as a society and celebrate. And I want you to take every bit of that energy, and I want you to stand, and I want to pour it upon these graduates who are truly deserving of those honors and accolades that the world seemingly gives all of these celebrities, professionals, and those type things for much, much less important values that we have. So are you with me? So on the count of 3, I want you to raise the roof of this gymnasium and celebrate these champions that are here before you. So here we go. Please stand up. 1, 2, 3. Yes! Thank you. You may be seated. Now, I don't know from your vantage point if you could see the jubilation in the faces of these graduates, but that is probably the most important thing that will occur today, other than when they're reunited with you as graduates and you have that time as a family and loved ones to celebrate this more intimately. But there's nothing that I will say or nothing that I will do that they will remember more so than what we just did for those graduates in celebrating them the way that they deserve and should be celebrated by our community, but also by the world that we live in today. It is during this time of year, it is a special time that I am reminded of the sacred nature of the work that we do at Surry Community College. For we truly do change lives. It is sacred, the things that we're entrusted to do, and the work that we do day in and day out to help these students move forward to achieve their dreams, whether those dreams are intrinsic, whether those dreams are extrinsic, or whether those dreams are just to get a better job and to provide a better living for their family. All of those are honorable goals, and that is our role, is to help them usher and help empower them to be able to achieve those. There are so many stories, though. When you look around this auditorium, there's probably over 1,000 people in here today, counting the graduates. And each and every one of us have a special and a unique story. Each one of us bring that into our community today, our Surry Community College community, Surry and Yadkin counties which we serve and which we represent as citizens. And when you pull that together, it presents a soul and a spirit. These graduates have left their mark upon this college. Each and every one of them have their own unique stories. And throughout the past week, whether it's been attending a nursing ceremony or an early college graduation, or last night we had 2 services where we pinned EMS professionals that will go out and serve you, I have been able to witness some special stories. I've been able to witness students who have overcome many obstacles and barriers. And it started in the nurse pinning, when you come to realize that during a student's time here, multiple students lost loved ones while they were attaining their educational goals and achieving those goals. And that touches your heart. And it touched those students' hearts when you were able to see the love, the concern, and the care that they had for their loved ones and the loved ones that have passed on, and the pride that they had, and the sacred nature, as I stated earlier, of being able to achieve that work in honor of those who have passed on. You heard children who cried out to their mothers and their fathers as they've graduated, and to hear the innocence that exists there, that is sacred. It is sacred work that we do. And when you hear the cries of the little ones, it reminds you that your communities are still alive. And there's still hope, and there's vibrant hope. and you see the example that these students are impacting upon their lives. For what we know is that when a student graduates college, their lineage is more apt to go to college and to achieve the same. And so many cycles are broken here today, and many, many dreams, not only the dreams that you have, but the dreams of those who will follow along behind you, your children, your grandchildren. You are changing their lives. Whether you realize it or not, you are changing their lives for the betterment, because whenever you can learn, whenever you can experience different things, whenever you can expand your knowledge and your abilities, that is special. That is something that can never be taken away from you by anyone at any time, any place. And so today, what a perfect ending to this story in your life. What a perfect ending to achieve this honor, to achieve your credentials, your academic credentials, and to be able to take those things that you've learned and to put them into practice into your daily life and to improve your lives as you move along. Nelson Mandela once stated, "There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways which you have been altered." Graduates, as I speak a little bit about my personal experiences and other things, I want you to ponder the past 2 years of your life. This morning when I was pondering, and the one thing that I never know for sure what I'm going to say. In fact, my notes, you could pretty much take those and throw them away right now because I've deviated from the message. But this morning I thought, a year ago I stood on this stage and I reflected about the past year and the changes that have happened at Surry Community College, the changes that have happened in students' life, our faculty and staff lives, and those type things that form and tell our individual stories and help form our stories. And so I thought and pondered that change that has happened and reflected, where am I? Where am I personally at as an individual, as a community college president, as a citizen, as a father and provider for a family? And pondered those things. Tomorrow I will go home to Collinsville, Virginia, where I grew up, and celebrate Mother's Day. Martinsville and that area in Collinsville has remained relatively, I'll get that out again, relatively unchanged throughout the many years. It has suffered economic hardships. Once an economy that was bursting at the seams, the lowest unemployment rates in the state of Virginia for many generations, now has one of the highest unemployment rates for the past 20 years, and that's 20 plus years in the nation. And so when I go home, it allows me to reflect upon an area that is unchanged to me, but to reflect on how I unchanged and that part of my story, that part of my life, and reflect, who am I now versus who I was then? And when I go back to that changed state and I look at the changes in my life, sometimes, to be honest with you, I like what I see. Other times, I do not like the way I see and view things. But it is through this process of living and writing my personal story that I'll evaluate, I ponder, and I seek to continually seek opportunities to change and to embrace and to become better and to use those skills and talents that I have been given to edify the lives of others, starting in my family, continuing on to this college and our community and our state and our nation. Ponder those things and seek the opportunity in your life to see how you have changed throughout those different processes in your life. When I said this is like a story, being at Surry Community College for many of you may be closing just a chapter. It may just be a one story that you wrote. But I promise you, your life is not just one story. It is a set of stories. It is a series, if you will. And you will have a series of life experiences and those type things. And take the opportunity to pause. And while today may be closing one story, you will open another as you open up tomorrow. And you seek out to go on to your professions and the things that you seek to do, as well as many of you may go on and continue your education. But whether you immediately go out into the workforce or you go on to a university and continue your education, I encourage you to be a lifelong learner. And lifelong learning is not just in the formal sense. You will be given the opportunity to do continuing education credits and to continually learn new advancements in those type things in the field of study that you have and in your profession. You will be given the opportunity to read. With the knowledge base that's out there across the internet, it is unlimited, the knowledge that we have. But the one thing that I'm proud of at Surrey Community College, we have taught you the cognitive thinking skills, and we've opened your minds so that you can discern what is truth versus untruths in those things that you seek out and that you learn, and those things that are presented to you throughout your life. We have been able to increase those cognitive learning skills so that you can discern those type things and to quickly move on to the better things in life and the best things in life that will help you improve. Today, I charge you to continue writing your story and to share it with others. Don't just write that story and treat it as a candle under a bushel. Let your candle shine, let your light shine, and impact others with the skill sets and your unique story and your unique set of life experiences. Because there's someone out there that I guarantee you that you can touch and that you can reach the way that no other person in this life will have that ability to do. But you must be mindful and you must have a servant's heart so that you can see and seek out those opportunities when they present themselves to you. Do not allow others, I repeat, do not allow others to instill fear, despair, or to write your story. Only you have that ability to control and write the story and to control those endings. A lot of times I hear some people say, that person made me mad, you made me mad, or you made me do this. And the realities of it is, when you ponder and you think, no one has control over the way you feel, the way you act, except for yourselves. And sometimes that is hard to accept, but it is a truth. And sometimes it is very difficult to do. But no one has the ability to control your story or to write that story and how you respond to that story other than yourselves. And so make sure you stay true to who you are and do not allow others to define that for you and to define and to take hostage your story. It's your story. You write that story. You live that story. And I promise you that you will be edified. One of my favorite speeches that I go back and I read many, many times was Jim Valvano. Now, I know that I'm showing my age because if you're an NC State fan, you have to go back to a VHS tape, VCR, to be able to see that last national championship that NC State enjoyed. Now, I'm a Tar Heel fan, so I get to enjoy ribbing them about that. But NC State Coach Jim Valvano, who coached them to the 1983 championship, in 1993, just 10 years later, gave the most beautiful, eloquent speech I have ever heard in my life. And I've met with students in different capacities, and now I allow them to watch that video. And I do learn my age because a lot of them don't know who Jim Valvano is. And so I have to tell them the story the same. He was the coach of the 1983 championship team at NC State that had to win the ACC championship to even get into the NCAA finals. And they went on and they called them the Cardiac Pack because some way they found a way to win and then ultimately beaten Houston, who by many thought was unbeatable, that there was no way. But that night, that one given night, NC State beat them on a missed shot or a pass from Derek Wittenberg, if you will, however you do, that turned into a slam dunk, and they won the championship. That's not important to this story. That's who Jim Valvano was then. But on the cameras of the ESPY Awards, Jim Valvano, who knew that his life was succumbing to cancer, had flown up to New York against the advice of his doctors and was writing his story and completing his story and bearing his heart and soul. And in that story and in that speech, and I encourage you to go home and Google it, Jim Valvano ESPY Award speech, and you will see it. But in that speech, he gave us all some advice. And one thing that Coach Valvano said, there are 3 things that we should do every day. Number 1, he says to laugh. He said you should laugh every day. Number 2, you should think. You should take time to think every day in deep thought and to ponder. Ponder your life, ponder where you are, ponder that of your loved ones and those things that are important to you, and ponder where you are, as Nelson Mandela, at those points in life when things seem to be unchanged, and see how you've changed. And the number 3 thing that he suggested, he said we should have our emotions moved every day to tears. And he says if you laugh, you think, and you cry, that is a heck of a day. And then he closes, if you do that 7 days a week, then that's a special life. Graduates, we're proud of you. Congratulations. We wish you the best of luck into your future, and continue writing and sharing your story. Thank you.
Leticia Armenta Armenta. Cody Ray Ashburn. Bailey Badgett. Lucas Gray Beverly. Joshua Keith Blackburn. Robin M. Bolton. Neil Borad. Cody Bowman. Lydia Michelle Brewster. Justice Isaiah Bricky. Lakin Jade Brindle. Paula Annette Brotherton. Ryan James Bunker. Justin Kyle Burke. Elimelech Calderon Rojas. Devin Christopher Clark. Caleb Andrew Cockerham. Caitlin Marie Kaufman. Jared Collins. Tara Morgan Cooper. Heather Nicole Couch. Paige Alexis Kraus. Wanda Madison Cutler. Jonathan I. DeSantiago. Justin Robert Dorsett. Anthony Wayne Easter. Susanna Florka. Kenneth Isaiah Freeman. Carla Yanitza Fuentes Perez. Brittany Galloway. Nicole Valerie Gammons. Kevin Armando Garcia Cordova. Leonel Gonzalez. Chloe Shea Gordy. Emily Catherine Hall. Amber Lynn Hawks. Carl Henry Hedrick IV. Jose Apelina Hernandez Moreno. Matthew Hill. Kaylee Ann Horton. Alexis Brooke Huffman. Catherine Hannah Hunter. Austin D. Hutchins. Brian M. Jimenez. Kenneth A. Karpenko. Caitlin Ashley Kindle. Nicole Renee Lawing. Jenna Hope Lucas. Conrad D. Manuel. Melissa Marion. Hillary Brooke Martin. Harley Caitlin McCann. Chelsea Nicole Michael. Michael Zachary Miller. Dakota Mills. Jordan Garrett Moore. Jason Moreno. Joshua Mark Morris. Bailey Grace Moser. Elijah Philip Mosteller. Austin Wayne Moxley. Amanda Newcomer. Brenna Lynette Newman. Ashton Rain Norman. Jennifer Michelle Norman. Jacob Daniel Pack. Matthew Brian Patrick. Tommy Lee Phillips. Chase Donald Poindexter. Deborah Poindexter. Dylan Chase Potts. Chelsea Ann Previtt. Tyler Brittany Previtt. Chelsea Lynn Rivas. Jacob Ridings. Jerry Joseph Ring. Ashley Hill Roberts. Brittany Rodriguez. Sean Alexander Sands. Brandon Sheik. Lucas Benjamin Shelton. Gates Shore. Ethan Gray Simmons. Randall D. Sizemore. Kendall Allen Smith. Haley Nicole Snow. Samuel Walter Southern. Jared R. Stanley. Victoria Marie Steele. Mackenzie Brooke Tilley. Evan Tor Tonneson. Daniela Trejo. Whitney Trenter. Kaylee Brooke Umstead. Edgar Valverde. Monica Jo Vigent. Cassandra Whitley. Jennifer Marsh Wills.
Dr. Shockley, on behalf of the faculty, I am pleased to present these candidates for the degrees, diplomas, and certificates awarded by Surry Community College.
Graduates, we have one more order of business, so if you could please stand. Okay, if you could grab those tassels, but don't turn them yet. Just hold on to them. By the power and authority of the state of North Carolina, the North Carolina Community College State Board of Trustees, and by the nomination of the faculty and staff of Surry Community College, I do hereby confer upon you the rights, privileges, and honors as a graduate of Surry Community College. Graduates, you can turn those tassels. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the class of 2019.